Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahweh Shah, Rakata Yahweh, Rakata Yahweh Shah, Call Halal, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shah, Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. Hopefully, this lesson will be edifying. I'd like to start out here in Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 10. It says, "If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough." So, like, you know, a thief's only going to come in and take as much as he can get. He's not going to be able to get everything. But what the Lord is saying is here Jeremiah 49 and 10, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." Okay, just going to bring out some of this stuff that Esau has been doing over the course of history. The Lord at this time is making Esau bare. He's bringing up all of the atrocities that Esau has done to the children of Israel. We just passed up what we call Thanksgiving. And I pulled up this article. you know, and it's kind of going into what Esau has done. Okay, I guess this is by Philip Martin, updated November 25th, 2021. Native American nations observe the National Day of Mourning in Plymouth Thursday to call attention to the centuries of atrocities committed against indigenous peoples and to correct myths common in history texts. The annual gathering of Coles Hill in the coastal Massachusetts town started in 1970 when Wamasuta Frank James went there to deliver a speech drafted for the 350th anniversary celebration of the Pilgrim's arrival. The state officials had rejected his speech for a formal event in Boston as inflammatory. At the 52nd event held on Thursday, sponsored by the United American Indians of New England, the lead speaker was James's granddaughter, Kisha James, a member of Aquania, Wampanoag, and Oglala Lakota tribes. When the pilgrims arrived on outer Cape Cod, by the way, not on that pebble down the hill, one of the first things the pilgrims did was to rob Wampanoag grave sites at Corn Hill and steal as much of their winter provisions of corn and beans as they were able to carry, James said, referring to a hill in Truro. The writings of the colonists themselves describe these actions taking place. So here it is. Esau comes to a new land, and he finds some shit, and then he wants to steal it. He wants to steal it. He has no regard for the people that gathered these things, no regard whatsoever. So, I mean, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, is being revealed who he is. I mean, he came in lawlessly. He didn't come in and ask, or he just came in and stole and robbed everything. And he outlined it. It says, the writings of the colonists themselves describe these actions taking place. James also disputed that the year history texts date the first Thanksgiving dinner shared between the Wampanoag and Pilgrims. The first official Thanksgiving did not take place in 1621 when the Pilgrims had a harvest time meal provided largely by the Wampanoag, she said. Instead, the first Thanksgiving was declared in 1637 by Governor John Winthrop of Massachusetts Bay Colony to celebrate the massacre of over 700 Pequot men, women, and children on the banks of the Mystic River in Connecticut. So this devil, the Massachusetts, was it governor? This devil here, yeah, the governor declared a thanksgiving for the massacre of 700 men, women, and children. Wow, this devil's got to be taken out of rulership. James and the other speakers called for more public attention to the indigenous women's missing across the country and return of national parks to Native Americans. She also endorsed citizenship in 5 tribes that held slaves for their descendants, known as freedmen, based on the treaty signed after the Civil War. Freedmen descendants of the Cherokee have tribal citizenship, and the Seminoles have partial rights, but those of the Creek, Choctaw, Chickasaw have been excluded. This year's gathering followed the release of historical documents tracing the origins of scalping back to the white settlers who began the practice as a bounty system to rid the land of indigenous peoples. Wow. After speeches, prayer, and drumming, participants marched through the clear, seasonable day together at Plymouth Rock. So these damn devils, I mean, I had known that they, though the white man had started scalping, I think they were giving like $5 a head, $5 a head, something like that. So it was much more lucrative to scalp a so-called native, a child of Israel, Yasha'Allah, than to actually do anything in those times. $5 a head to rid the natives off of their land. This damn devil's got to go. Here's another article I came up on. But so people are celebrating Thanksgiving, and it's really designed, or it was first instilled behind killing native people. I mean, this devil, man. This devil ain't shit. Esau, Edom. Okay. Pulled up this article. This is wow. Native Americans, government authorities, and reproductive politics. This is October 23rd, 2019. In the 1970s, doctors in the United States sterilized an estimated 25 to 42% of Native American women of childbearing age, some as young as 15. Okay, so I was born in 1970, so this has not been that long ago. 25 to 40% sterilized. Even though, I mean, Esau Edom's kind of silly, because it's, you are what your father is. Your father carries the seed, so sterilizing the women, it really doesn't do a lot to destroy a nation. Sterilizing the men is how you destroy a nation. But, Esau's backwards. Even the low estimate, 1/4 of native women, is a whopping statistic. The sterilizations, subsidized by the federal government and often undertaken without consent or under great duress, mark the culmination of a long history of efforts by federal and local authorities to manage the reproductive lives of native families. So this devil and his population control has been forcibly sterilizing native women under duress, or just by lying. Like, oh, okay, well, we're going to have services, for your children where you can bring them to our clinics. You go into the clinic and the motherfucker sterilizes the children. This devil gotta go. This devil gotta go. Oh my God. Explain. An assistant professor of history at the University of Rochester, in her new book, Reproduction of the on the Reservation, Pregnancy, Childbirth, and Colonization, Colonialism in the long 20th century. The federal government and local authorities have long tried to control indigenous families and women's reproduction using tactics such as coercive sterilization and removal of indigenous children into the white foster care system. Oh my goodness. So he wants to separate he wants to bind the strong man. I mean, that's essentially what he's doing. He's taking the children away from their parents, binding the strong man, and then he raises them up the way that he wants them to be. Oh, this devil gotta go. Her book traces those efforts, but also the response from Native Americans themselves, widespread activism across Indian country that arose as a direct consequence of federal reproductive policies. Theobald adopts as a study in the Crow Reservation in Montana, telling the story of childbearing motherhood and activism there from the late 19th century to the present in relation to federal policies and general trends among healthcare provided on reservations. She finds that while essentially colonial in their approach, federal policies regarding Native women's reproductive decisions were carried out unevenly in the 20th century, hinging largely on local conditions and actual enforcement on the ground. The implementation or lack thereof or of reproduction related policies was shaped by local conditions, the abilities and resource, the whims of individual employees, and perhaps most significantly, Native response and engagement, says Theobald. What was it like on Native reservations in the first few decades? I focus mostly on reservations in the West. Conditions on these reservations were extremely difficult in the late 19th century. Men were not allowed to hunt, and government rations were inadequate. At Crow, there was an incredible demographic loss, deaths really, a result of not being able to move around and not being able to do what they had done traditionally for sustenance. So this devil came in and took away their food source and confined them to an area and basically starved them out. They were confined to small spaces, which led to the rapid spread of disease. All of this had an effect on women's health. Women of childbearing age were particularly vulnerable to tuberculosis. At the same time, because of the demographic decline, there was a tremendous urgency among Native people to reproduce. So you had fewer women bearing a greater reproductive burden, and you can see the outcomes in reduced infant and maternal welfare, greater sickness, and mortality. Oh man, this devil, man, this devil has got to go. This devil has got to go. No. I'm sure there's a lot more meat in this article, but I'm getting kind of long, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and cut it short. But Where is it? Get one more scripture. This is Proverbs 3:31. Envy not thy oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the forward is an abomination to the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh, but his secret is with the righteous. So the forward, one has gone the wrong way. You know, what the Lord has made crooked, who can make it straight? I don't know why all of these people are worried about Esau, Edom, and salvation, but this devil, this crooked devil, your oppressor, look at the things that he's done. Look at his ways. Look at his ways. Your oppressor and these weirdos are worried about salvation for the damn wicked. The wicked needs to get judgment. That's what needs to happen. And these weirdo Israelites, and trying to save your oppressor, man, fuck that cracker. I'd like to end this by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. This is your brother Yakar Abin. I hope this lesson was edifying. Shalom.